This is Shelley Galloway, Christ Church parishioner for over 60 years. Recently, I have been engaged in two practices of spiritual inquiry. One is Christ Church Centering Prayer Group, and the other is a 40-day discernment journey through the Center for Contemplative Studies. During one recent meditation exercise, I was focused on opening myself to the will of the Holy Spirit. I envisioned myself as an empty vessel waiting to be filled with God's grace and direction. Suddenly, the word action popped into my head. I wrestled with the idea of becoming an empty vessel as a rather passive state. The word receptive came to mind. I was delighted to learn that receptivity is a very alive and active condition. Other words linked to receptivity are aliveness, awareness, mindfulness, consciousness, preparation, and readiness. So emptying myself to God's will brought me to receptivity, an active state of mindfulness. About 25 years ago, I had a mystical experience while attending a service at St. James Cathedral in the city, presided over by Bishop Frank Griswold. I met Frank at a silent retreat sponsored by Christ Church and was inspired by his spiritual availability. This was a time of serious concerns in my life, and I was wrestling with important issues. I wanted answers, and I wanted them today. Frank's sermon was like God was delivering his message directly to me. I wrote copious notes on 4 pew cards. The simple lesson was, you can't live the answer until you have lived the question. I needed to be open and receptive to God's words for me, and because I was actively listening, the Spirit provided the answer. I needed to move forward, cautioned that this might happen in God's time and not by my schedule. I have encountered these same thoughts and concerns during this fraught time of pandemic and isolation. I want my questions answered, and I want that now. I was blessed to receive the word receptivity during meditation. Let us all be receptive to what the Spirit is telling us. My discernment practice raises the idea of living the question in this way. The question calls forth the response, and underneath it all, faith tells us that the divine presence is in, through, and beyond everything that exists, including our questions. Faith can reveal that even the question is the will of God being done. Can you just be with the question today? Join me in living our lives in a relaxed way, letting the questions be in our hearts, and the answers will be given by God.